Everyone constructs a dream garage. For some, it's muscle, others, elegance. But for every dream garage, there's 4 cars that are absolute musts. And Chip Miller from Eurostar Auto Gallery takes us through them. The Italian.
This is a Ferrari 360 Modena. The car was manufactured between 1999 and 2005 in 2 different models. First, the coupe, which was absolutely gorgeous, and the convertible, which was known as a Spider, equally as beautiful. All depends on whether you want the top down or up. The 360 Modena, interestingly enough, was developed as a course of action by Ferrari to appeal to a more race-driven audience. It's just a great car to drive. It's not the fastest car you'll ever get behind the wheel of at 400 horsepower, and it's not the torquiest car you'll ever get behind the wheel of at roughly 270 foot-pounds of torque. However, it's still a Ferrari. You can put a beautiful car in your garage like this for $85,000 to $87,000 on average. Say what you want, it's always going to be an icon.
The Gentleman.
This particular car needs no introduction, but it should be in your garage. This is a 2005 Bentley Continental GT. Possibly, if not arguably, the greatest grand touring car available to everyday people that you can find on the market today. This car is truly a gentleman's driver. In Europe, or more specifically in England, they called this car the sporting man's Rolls Royce with good reason. Bentley drivers swear by the comfort of this car. And personally, I own one, so I can tell you firsthand, they are really, really comfortable. It's absolutely the finest grand touring car for traveling you will ever drive. Basically an Audi engine, basically an Audi transmission backing it up. So the old buyer beware of English technology and electronics is out the window.
The Hooligan.
This is one reptile you should put in your garage. Nasty, nasty, nasty. 500 horsepower V10, 525 foot-pounds of torque, just an incredibly hard thumping car. This car is a real killer on the highway though, if you're not a driver. Always beware that there's a reason why they call this car a Viper. It'll bite you quickly. If you get into a bad situation with this car, you're not coming home in one piece, or at the very least, the car won't make it home. If you want a collectible reptile, this might just be your cup of tea. It's number 11 of 200 made in this model year. This car is a 2004 Mamba edition, which was a collectible edition introduced by Viper. The car is absolutely positively the hardest thumping driver you'll ever want to get behind the wheel of. The car itself is dangerous to drive if you're not a driver, so always beware. There's a reason why they call this car the Snake, and particularly a Viper.
We would show you the Viper in action, but it's number 11 of 200, so we won't be putting any miles on this bad boy. We can show you another Viper in action, however. The Rarity.
This is another car that should make it to the top of your list. Problem is, you probably don't know what you're looking at, and you may not be able to pronounce the name of the car, but it's a Panos Esperante. This particular car was built in 2006 and represents the last year production made. The car is a GTLM, the top of the line ever produced for the street by Panos. Panos is an interesting company with an interesting history. They were started in approximately 1994 when Danny Panos, the son of a wealthy pharmaceutical millionaire, decided he wanted to go racing. They built this car for the purposes of Le Mans and Can-Am racing. This particular car took about 1.5 to 2 years to get perfected until they finally got just the right balance of everything in the car. They took it to the racetrack, and for quite a few years to come, they dominated the race circuit at Le Mans. It's driven by a 32-valve Ford SVT Cobra motor. It's spirited to drive, it digs hard in the turns, wonderful, wonderful handling characteristics. For the money, it would be my pick in a garage any day of the week. This car can be bought for $60,000. This particular car has 28,000 miles on it, so it makes it a very affordable alternative for anyone who wants to enter into the supercar arena. This car is an absolute must in so many ways.
The Italian, the Gentleman, the Hooligan, and the Rarity. Sounds like an action movie. An action movie that should be in your dream garage.